Cameroon introduces a new tax collection system in Cameroon, that is the DGT, the Directorate General of Taxation, or the DGI, is in charge of collecting all taxes now in Cameroon. So now we will be talking about how these taxes are being collected, the advantages and disadvantages of this new tax collection system on Cameroonians. So listen, in this new system, collection of taxes will be digitalized. That is, what they are going to do now is that everyone who is paying taxes is supposed to have a number, the NIU number or the taxpayer's number. Normally in the old, this number was applicable because everyone who pays taxes has this number. Now they'll create a portal that people will use this portal to pay their taxes. A portal is like an online form that you will fill all your information and pay your taxes. You can either pay through your bank account or your mobile money, and then a receipt will automatically be sent to you that you will keep, so that when they are doing auditing or checking for those who have paid the tax, you will show your receipt. So now the new people who are collecting these taxes are no more council officials. These are government officials from the GDT. They will be in charge of collecting all taxes, including local development tax, sanitation tax, and even the market tax. Before, we all know the council was in charge of collecting this local development tax and sanitation tax. Now, before, this local development tax and sanitation tax and also the market tax was being handled by the council. That is, the money from these three taxes was being managed by the council. For example, the local development tax, this was money that the council uses to do one or two things that that community needs. And then we also had the sanitation tax. Sanitation tax was used to make the environment clean, as the name implies. That is, it was being used to keep that community clean and ensure that there is general cleanliness. But now it's different. All of this money are being collected by the central government and being handed to the central government. Now, it's the central government who now gives back council, they allocate money for each council. That is, they give them money that will be used to manage their local council. Now, let's talk about some advantage and disadvantage of this new tax system. The first advantage is that it helps to reduce corruption. How does it help to reduce corruption? We all know that there are many tax regimes in Cameroon, but what I want to talk about now is the flat rate tax regime. That is, people in the tax regime that own businesses that generates less than 10 million a year as profit, they belong here. That's small business like convenience stores, small off licenses and things like that. Now, before, council officials will come to your shop and collect taxes, as well as DGT officials will come and collect taxes. Before, the DGT officials collect taxes such as PATAN, business license tax, and then council officials now collect taxes such as sanitation tax, local development tax, and in the market, they collect market tax. So we see that when they come to collect these taxes, most of the time, some council officials are corrupt. Now, how they do, they monitor your business and they tell you your amount of tax you have to pay based on their auditing. Now, when you pay this tax, they write a receipt and they give you. But in this new system, no one will sign any receipt to give you. You will pay your taxes online and your receipt will come online, and the government is able to track every taxpayer. Now, if you don't pay your tax, no one is coming to tell you that you have not paid your tax. Automatically, you will have to pay a fine. So they will only come later on to audit people who haven't paid taxes and to do controls. Now, the second advantage is that there is protection of fake collectors. You know that before, when the council collects taxes, someone will come and collect tax today. Then after about 3 months, you see another person coming to collect tax again. And sometimes they cheat the locals and collect taxes 2 times on the same tax, which is actually very, very bad. And this money is not accounted for. The state doesn't know about this money. Okay, now let's talk about the disadvantages of this. You know, everything that has an advantage also has a disadvantage. Now, let's talk about the first disadvantage of this is technological barrier. You know, most of our people will not be able to navigate through this payment portal. So mostly they will have to pay someone else to help them fill that information and pay their taxes for them. Well, it's part of life. Now, let's move to another disadvantage, and this is what everyone is talking about. Lack of local control. You see, before, the councils used to control some part of the money collected from taxes to do local development. For example, I spoke about the sanitation tax. This money was being controlled and collected by the council. And then we also have the local development tax. This money was also controlled by the council. That is, the council had the right on this money after collection. They determine what they will do with the money. If there is something needed in the the community or in that local council, then they will use that money to provide that service. Then we also had sanitation tax that was being collected and controlled by the local council, but now it's no more. Now, the sanitation tax and all these tax I've mentioned will be collected by DGT officials. They'll be the one to collect all the tax, and then it goes back to the central government, the state treasury, and then now the state treasury now allocates money for these councils. That is that the state treasury is basically giving back the council's money to run the council. Then also we have another major disadvantage: strict penalties. You see, before you can negotiate your penalties with the council official who is coming in front of you to collect your taxes. But now, since the system will be digitalized, there is no more negotiation. If the system say you have to pay your taxes, let's say on the 1st of January, then you had money on the 2nd of January and you were ready to navigate the portal and pay, automatically you will have to pay a fine. There is no one to negotiate or to think about, oh, I was facing this problem, that is why I didn't pay on time, please receive my money now. There's nothing like that. So all these negotiations are not. When you pay your tax plus your penalty, your receipt will be printed. So these are the things you need to know about this new tax collection system. If you like videos like this, please like, share, and leave your thoughts in the comment section. See you in the next one.